Hello YouTube, this is Andre from the Swell Dudes Fishtanks, and a lot of interesting stuff going on. First of all, I can see my bristlenose pleco. There he goes. I just fed everyone, so these guys are happy. These guys are happy. These guys are happy. And this is what I'm really excited about. So I have two 10-gallons here, side by side, and before they each had a heater, a filter, and an air pump, each of them, and a light. I've taken that all out except for the lights, so now both of these tanks are lacking a heater, a filter, and an air pump. It's just an experiment to see if they're balanced enough to exist without those things. The main reason is to cut down on electricity, and a secondary reason is to reduce noise. And also, since there's no water agitation, I can leave the tops off and I can look down on top of the tank. The main reason I had lids was because the air stone was the bubbles from the air stone were constantly causing like water to splash out, and I had to keep down the humidity. But now the humidity in here is normal, even with the tops off. So it's a whole new viewing angle, and it's a lot more convenient, and I'm really liking it. This one has a bunch of different guppies, like 15-20 of them. This one has a single bed of fish. I just fed them. In here I have micro sword, water wisteria, some cryptocorns that are dying. I gotta put some fertilizer in this tank, and some reishi floating on top. Here I have dwarf sag, which really isn't very dwarf at all. It grows like 2 feet long, 3 feet long. I don't know. I guess it's because of the dim light. Plants grow taller in dim light. Speaking of dim light, all I have on here is this one little desk LED lamp that I got from a thrift store, and this lamp I also got from a thrift store. Nice, ghetto, cheap. This one cost me $2.50 at the Goodwill store. This one was from a different store, also very cheap. And I have nice lighting for both tanks. Here I also have some water Sprite that I just put in, some reishi, some temperate mosses. This one's, it looks brown because it was dried out for half a year, but at the base it's green, so it's gonna regenerate. I just left it on the floor for like half a year. I found it yesterday, so I rinsed it in water and then put it on there. That's a piece of styrofoam. I scored it so that it wicks up moisture, and that actually works pretty nicely. And what I did is that's a paper towel right there, and that paper towel is soaked with potassium nitrate solution. So what I did is I was experimenting, like making different fuses. And I tried one recipe, which is just soaking regular paper towels with the potassium nitrate solution, drying them out. That didn't really work very well, as well as I wanted it, so I just, here's the remaining So this is it. I actually used a super saturated solution of potassium nitrate on this, and if I get the right angle, you might see the crystals. You can actually, please, better light perhaps. Not a chance. Anyway, this is stiff. It's full of potassium nitrate crystals, and I can kind of see it right there, glinting. So there you go. Very nice. So since this was useless for pyrotechnics, I use it for fertilizer. So you can see I actually dropped another piece in there so that the potassium nitrate can diffuse off into the water column to fertilize it. Actually, now I can take it out from there. Yeah. Put another piece in here as well. Let's take that out. So yeah, I'm gonna. So far, the fish seem to be doing fine without the heaters, filters, and air pumps. What I did is I gradually decreased the temperature to room temperature. Then I removed the heaters, and then I, for the filters, I gradually moved filter media from the filter into the main tank. And I mean just the biological media, not the mechanical media. And I've gradually started feeding them less. So that actually goes in line with a lesser temperature. So I dropped the temperature by how many? By 6 degrees. So it was at 78, and I dropped it to 72. In both of these tanks. And so that causes the metabolism of the fish to decrease. They start living at a slower rate, and so they can tolerate less food. And so I really only feed them once every 2 days now, and so they produce less waste. So hopefully, I know like there's a little too many fish in here. It's 15 to 20 guppies. It's kind of a lot for not having a filter, but hopefully the plants will keep up. I am testing the water for nitrates and ammonia, and it seems to be doing fine. I actually haven't detected any yet, so that's a good sign in either of these. Let's see.